to teach kids healthy habits early on, but that's easier said than done. So Karen, you have an expert with some suggestions that we can put into practice today.
Absolutely, and the earlier you start, the easier it gets. So we have Casey Fox, who's a dietitian from St. Chris's Hospital for Children. Thank you for joining us. Good morning to you.
Thank you for letting me be here.
So one of the most important things is to really make it interesting, to have a colorful plate, and it's also the grouping of how we put our percentages of food. So how do we do our fruits and vegetables versus our proteins and carbs?
Exactly. So fruits and vegetables should take up about half of our plate. Demonstrated here, we want about 1/4 of the plate a carbohydrate or a starch. That's your rice, pasta, bread, potatoes, and 1/4 of it should be protein: chicken, fish, beef, beans, eggs, all good sources of protein.
So I like what you did here. This is another one of your tips, is use interesting shapes. Make it interesting for the kids to eat. So something that's kind of quirky and fun. Oh, let's give this over to our test subject over here. Let's get away from the sugar. We all know that they want the sugar there. Mikey.
No, baby. Come on. Eat your little raspberries.
Look at those delicious raspberries.
So good.
Mmm. Mikey likes it. Those are very good. So one of the neat things to make kids that are more likely to eat it, it's the shape of it. See, Mikey likes to eat that interesting butterfly. See how it's flying? Let it fly right into your mouth, Mikey. That's good, delicious proteins right there. So you've got a great parent hack for that. How do we get the interesting shapes if they aren't interestingly shaped?
So I have some cookie cutters here that I got. I actually like these ones because you can do a big piece. So you do the big butterfly here. Oops, that didn't go so well.
Sometimes it's good if you do layers.
Yeah. We'll do this one right here. There we go.
And then you have a cute little, yes.
And then you can use this one to cut out the little butterfly details.
And that's just cute, and it's just appealing. So the other thing, now this is really important, is to let kids be able to feed themselves. So often, particularly when they're younger babies, now we all know these pouches. These are amazing. They were game changers. They've been saving moms' lives for forever. But the temptation, Tori's a mom of 2 kids, so she knows this one, is sometimes you overfeed when the kid is clearly not hungry, not ready, doesn't want it, and we make the mistake of too much spoon feeding. What should we be doing instead?
So instead of just trying to shove it in their mouth, what we should be doing is letting them explore it on their own. Put it on a plate or on the tray in front of them. Let them make a mess, as Mike is demonstrating very well. Put it between their fingers. Maybe eventually some of it will end up in their mouth, and they'll be like, "Hey, this isn't so bad."
And often when you have it in front of you, it is getting messy. It is tasting the textures, because sometimes there's foods that have avocado or salmon that can have a funky, weird texture and that aren't always appealing. So it's kids can have, if they, that's the way kids learn. First they look at it, then they touch it, and then they put it in their mouth, no matter what it is. You have to let them have that experience. Good job, Mikey. Yes, that's okay. Those colors are beautiful. How about to make things they're going to want a snack, but we don't want them grazing all day long. How do we make some snacks like a plain yogurt more appealing as well?
So we always want to portion it out for them. We don't want to let them graze throughout the day. They want to learn their hunger cues, right? If they're constantly grazing throughout the day, they're not learning what it's like to be hungry. They're not learning what it's like to be full. So it's important that we help teach them that. So instead of offering them just a plain yogurt, what we could do is jazz it up real quick with some granola, maybe some raspberries. We've added some color, some texture there, and it's more appealing.
Here we go, Mikey. Look at those good crunchy granolas. You're gonna love that. Delicious. Oh Lord. Okay, and then the other big secret when we're arranging and I like you added some hummus with this one right here, is we focus sometimes on what candy's bad or this food's bad. You put the brownie on here. Now, I do not put dessert out first. I always do vegetables first, and then I do a protein, and then whatever the potatoes and stuff is. But you put the brownie right on the plate. Why did you do that?
Because we want to teach our kids that there's no good foods, there's no bad foods. We don't want to label those foods, because then it could lead to feeling guilty later on in life. We could develop those, I had too much cake and I feel guilty, I feel bad, and that could possibly manifest itself into an eating disorder later. But if we put everything on the plate and we show that all food is good and we should treat all food the same, look at it as it's nourishing our body, then we're getting rid of that good and bad stigma attached to some of those.
Great job, great tips. And then remember, water, 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 water.
Yes.
They don't need any juice. Kids don't before the age of 2, and water is always our best hydration. Thank you. Those are great tips and great advice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Alex, over to you.
It's going to be interesting helping him
Mikey.
clean up. Coming up, your milk frother can now be part of your morning coffee and makeup routine. We're testing out this latest TikTok foundation hack. No, he's still going.